Good afternoon, everybody. Jacob with Learn With Me today with my rambling workshop. These are just random topics that I just wanted to talk about, and why not? I'm gonna try to keep this as a daily project, and it's whatever the hell I want it to be. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about things that I've gleaned. Anywho, so. We're being real official. Got the presentation, PowerPoint up, whatever the hell, and we're going to go to the next slide. Really, what it is and what we're going to be covering is what I have noticed. This is my introduction. So, men's struggle is mainly going to consist on what men deal with. Men struggle with identity, i.e., knowing themselves and taking care of themselves. Money, health, opinions. Most of this is going to do with just struggles in general. So it's going to be more to do about like how do we go about figuring out the symptoms. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be genuinely kind of like a conversation. Even though I can't talk to you, it is what it is. And maybe you'll learn something from what I'm talking about. Anywho, moving on. Not going to waste any time. Identity. Questions to ask. How did I grow up? So the reason I'm bringing this up and why I want to talk about it is I notice more and more with the people I interact with on a daily basis, a lot of men, especially military age males that are in the military, might be a little biased because of that, but a lot of them don't have any fucking clue what their identity is, right? And that's why this is more of like a basis for you, or if you don't want to, like, it doesn't really matter. However, if you give a bit of a shit, you can try asking these questions, like, how did I grow up? What do I enjoy doing? What did you enjoy doing in the past and even in the present? Do I feel trapped? Do I live according to my values? So the reason I bring some of these up, because if anybody's been to treatment or has gone to an inpatient facility, will kind of notice some similarities with like the questions, do I live according to my values? If you know anything about values and like treatment, mental health, all that sort of on that side of things, values are pretty big because we can get into the whole idea of moral injury. And a big cause of moral injury is doing something or having something done to you that goes completely against your own personal values. However, I notice a lot of people don't even know what their values are, or they can't remember what their values are. Do I feel trapped? Pretty simple. Do you feel trapped mentally, physically, emotionally? Does life feel like kind of like a drag to you? Are you not living the way you want? What do I enjoy doing? Do you enjoy playing video games, guitar, learning, all sorts of things? Do you even do them? That should be a big question in here is like, do you even do the things you enjoy doing? How did I grow up? Did you have a mom? Did you have a dad? Did you not have either? Did you grow up in foster care? Were you neglected? You know, you gotta be honest with yourself. Big part of this is honesty. And really with identity, it can all build together, like how did I grow up? Do you have your own identity? Did you pull your identity from your parents, your siblings, people you went to school with? Like, are you your own person? What do I enjoy doing? That could even say, like, self-care. Do you even do things that you enjoy doing? Do you force yourself to do things that you hate because it is perceived as normal? Do I feel trapped? Do you enjoy life? Do you feel like you're stuck? Do I live according to my values? Are you living in complete accordance to your values, or do you practice your values? Do you even know your values? I'll just say, ask the questions. Moving on. Second thing, money. Do I spend more than I earn? If I do that, why? How? You may ask yourself now, because this may not apply to you, how does one spend more than they earn? Well, I can tell you how they spend more than they earn. You get payday advances, you get advanced payday loans, you get more loans, you borrow money from people, do you spend money on things that you really can't afford? Do you live outside your means? Do you buy shit that you really don't need? Do you live your life based off of convenience? Do I have a plan? Do I have a plan is like simply, do I have a budget? Do I have a budget? Do I have a plan with my savings? Do I have an IRA? A lot of these things you may be asking, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Slow down a little bit. So, one thing that's kind of made me decide to go on this journey was my first 4 years of did math. I could have had 6 figures just chilling in savings if I spent the money on like what I absolutely had to spend on car loan, insurance, $100 here or there for gas, maybe some food, things that I had to pay. And I still had like $30,000+ left over, but I don't have anything in savings now. Like, the whole thing is about this is the hard questions. I'm not going to prop myself up here and act like I'm a genius. The whole point of this is I've made the mistakes, so I'm trying to teach them to others, right? So the younger you are and the sooner you have a plan, like, do I plan on buying a helicopter? It could be as simple as that. Do I plan on buying a Jaguar? Do I plan on having a helicopter? How are you going to achieve the plan, right? What is my relationship with money? And I kind of go back to the whole identity piece. If you grew up in a family where, I don't know, mom or dad spent a lot of money, they didn't teach you like financial responsibility, they just kind of spent and spent and spent. You had to eat, sleep for dinner a lot. You had to, I don't know, the electricity would go off because there's a storm coming through, but in reality there wasn't a storm going through. Your parents just couldn't afford to buy, or they couldn't afford to pay the electric bill. You're going to grow up seeing that, and I'm not going to lie, you're going to repeat the same behavior that you grew up around because you don't know anything different. Because sure, if I talk about, having $1,000 in savings, you may be like, that's not a whole lot of money, but you've never had more than $20 in your savings account because it seems impossible, right? You grew up seeing things as impossible, but the entire thing is we live in a day where convenience is key to everything. Like, most of the money we spend is literally just inconvenience. So if you have a terrible relationship with money where it's like money buys things that make me happy, money buys things that, boost my serotonin, or you get like that, post-buying rush from buying something because it makes you feel like you're in control, you have to identify that, because I'm going to tell you it's unhealthy. A lot of these questions are just getting to the basis of healthy and unhealthy behaviors, okay? Why should I care about my money? Or why should I care about money? Well, you should care about money because, one, it'll help you retire. It can pay for your kids' education whenever you have kids. You probably don't want to be working until the day you die, and if you do, then maybe you want to work in something that you enjoy doing because you have the freedom to do what you want. The decisions you make now with your money don't just affect you, but they affect, let's say your future self and your family in the future. And simply like saving now and being smart now can add years of your life from the stress that you don't have to go through later in life. Like, let's say if you're broke, right? Like, the thing is, active duty military, don't have a mortgage, don't have any of that shit, right? However, if I did the stupid things I've done in the past with my money, and I had a fucking mortgage, or I had kids, dude, I would have been fucked. My house would have been taken from me. My kids and me would have been living on the fucking street, living in my car that was probably going to be repoed the next day. That's why it's important. And that's why it's important to actually, like, have some knowledge with your money and finances. We may go more into finances in later episodes, but simply it's just asking the questions. Okay. And just without pause or anything else, read The Money Makeover. Dave Ramsey's in The Psychology of Money. I don't know who wrote The Psychology of Money, but it's what the book's called. Just look up The Psychology of Money. You know how to use the internet. Okay? Now, you may be like, well, I don't want to buy these books. Dog, you can get Libby for free and sign up for a library card on the internet for free and not have to spend a single dime in books. Little things like that. Look into it. Libby, Libby, and look up online libraries for free. Free library cards. The Philadelphia Free Library will give you a free library card. And I'm sure these 2 books will be in their library. That way you don't have to pay for fucking Audible or go to Barnes & Noble and spend some more money that you don't have to spend. Moving on. Health. Now the questions. Do I like what I see in the mirror? Most of the time people look in the mirror and guess what? You have to be honest with yourself. You look in the mirror and you are fat, you're obese, you're whatever, you're ridden with acne, whatever. You have to look in the mirror and you have to be honest about what you see in the mirror. Does my health impact how I live? Let's say if you can't go to like a trampoline park or a beach or whatever because it's just so much strain on your body, or like even like some people have to be helped down the stairs or have to use elevators because they can't walk upstairs. Can you pick up your kids? Do I have physical goals? Do I push myself? Do I neglect myself? Okay. So we're about to go on a complete tangent right now. So these, pretty simple. Do I, what you see in the mirror probably doesn't matter as that much, right? You can not be like the most shredded, diced up motherfucker in the world and be in perfectly good health. I'm not sitting here saying you have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or Chris Bumstead to be healthy. I'm just saying if you have like 200 extra pounds and you can't see your dick, like you may want to make a change. Okay? I'm not dissing you. You're probably a great person. However, healthy at all weight is not a thing. I hate to say it. There's proof. It's just like health in general. Like there will be perfectly healthy people that get cancer, but if you sit there and feed me that excuse, then why is it that people that are obese and are carrying extra weight and need CPAP machines before they're in their 30s or even 20s, you're telling me that's a good way of life? You're kidding. Okay? Because one, you don't have the money. You don't have the friends, the fame, the whatever to be the, like, who's that dude that Snoop Dogg's like dissing? The one with like the lean in his cup or whatever. He can't leave his cup or whatever. That guy. Like, sure, may have some money because of his one song. The dude can't even perform a song live without speaking 5 words and feeling like he's gonna pass out or something. Fuck that. does my health impact how I live? I'm pretty sure, well, kind of like what I was saying, those two coincide. Physical goals could be like, I want to, let's think more, we'll condense this down a bit more. So do I have physical goals? Let's say, do you want to bench press like 315? Do you want to lose 20 pounds? Do you want to gain 20 pounds? Do I push myself? Like, let's put this in a category, right? Do I like what I see in the mirror, and does my health impact how I live? These two things, we're going to put this in the lifestyle category, I guess. And does my health impact how I live? Again, like I said, if you're too weak or too fat or whatever the hell, maybe you need to look in the mirror and be like, I need to make a fucking change. Simple as that. After you make that decision, you need to have goals. Okay? Goals are simple, right? Goals are pretty simple. Like, you can pick an exercise, pick a weight goal, and do some looking, right? And you're going to be like, okay, this is my goal. I bench press like 135 right now. I want to bench 185 by this time, okay? For most of the goals, what I'm going to say, because of my personal experience, I want you to get rid of the timeline, okay? The timeline is going to, if you set a time, like if you say I want to bench press 315 by the end of the year, probably ain't gonna happen, dog. Like, especially if you just started benching like 45, like just the bar, like today, getting up to 315 is going to take more than a year. Hate to tell you, but you can go for 95 pounds. You can do 135 pounds. We'll say SMART goals, right? And to bring it back a little bit, SMART goals you can apply financially, physically, even mentally, whatever. SMART, like short-term, measurable, attainable. I can't remember the fucking order to you, but let's say small, attainable, small, measurable, attainable. Let's say those three things. And with those goals, you're like, okay, I want to bench press 2 plates, and I want to lose 20 pounds. And with those goals, I could tell you, all right, what is your weight? I weigh 255 pounds at 5'7", okay? I'm gonna be like, oh, all right, if you bench press like 135 right now, and your goal is to bench press 2 plates, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in a calorie deficit of like 200 calories, increase your cardiovascular intake a little bit, and I'm going to give you a bench press program where it's like, okay, he's going to bench twice a week. Simple as that. But if you don't have goals and you're all over the damn place, then you're going to, the reason I say this, because some people will do this, because I've done this before, where it's like, I want to get shredded. I start getting shredded, losing weight, and then it's like, get a little weaker. Oh, all of a sudden, I've lost some strength. I gotta fucking bulk up again. Then it's like, oh, I'm getting fat, shit. Try to get shredded again. Start getting shredded, losing weight. Then it's like, oh, I'm getting weaker. Bulk up. So it's like, for the meatheads that are watching this video, we're going to talk about how about like when you're bulking and everything, you're supposed to go on a bulk, but you're so afraid of like losing your abs that every time you get a little fluffier and everything, and your abs kind of go away a little bit, you freak out and you quit the bulk and you go back to cutting weight, and then it's like, well, your buddy who kept bulking, now he's squatting 4 plates easy for reps, and you're still over there barely able to squat 315, but his squat has gone up progressively. Even when he cuts weight, he still retains that strength, because guess what? He put on that extra bit of muscle from the bulk that you just haven't put on because you're in a calorie deficit and you're not gaining any weight. Or when you start losing weight, or because this pisses me off. I've tried training people in the past, and people will do this. I'm talking about people that are small, right? Smaller people, hard gainers, and they come to me, and they're like, Jacob, I haven't gained any weight. Like I'm eating 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 calories. Like I'm not gaining any weight. I'm losing, and I'm like, I want to tell you, if you tell anybody that knows about working out that shit, fucking smack yourself, dog, because you are not breaking the rules of fucking thermodynamics. You're not burning 5,000. If you burnt 5,000 calories just by existing, you would be fucking dead, dude. Like, it doesn't work. Like, if you burnt 5,000 calories from just existing, and like you did your little weightlifting exercise that burns maybe like 200 calories at the most, and you have somehow got rid of 5,000 calories, you're smoking meth. You are lying to yourself. Because I've taken dudes to like go out to eat, or like to chow hall or whatever, and I see what they eat, and I'm like, is this how you eat? And they're like, oh. They don't even get through their full plate, and it's not even like 700 calories. And I'm like, dog, no wonder you're not fucking gaining weight. You're malnourished, dipshit. So be honest with yourself, because if you're trying to gain weight and you have to put in the calories and get the calories in, hate to tell you, big dog, it fucking sucks, but that's everything, right? That's everything. Like, goals are not easy. Attaining these things, it's simple. These things are simple, but they're not fucking easy, because nobody wants you to know how fucking simple it is. They want you to think it's fucking hard. It isn't that fucking hard. Okay, do I push myself? You cannot gain any sort of momentum if you do not push yourself. I will be hard pressed for anybody to prove to me doing the bare fucking minimum and not pushing themselves will give you any sort of progress or return. It is true in finances, it is true in business, it is true everywhere. Shortcuts or a fucking lie. You need to push yourself. Simple as that. Do I neglect myself? This is another thing. People will neglect themselves, and they don't know what self-care is. They don't do things that will calm them down, that makes them relax or anything, and they'll be high-strung and have cortisol running through their body all the fucking time, and they'll be depressed, and they'll be like, why am I depressed? And it's like, because, motherfucker, you don't take care of yourself. Nobody's going to take care of yourself better than you, dog. Nobody's going to care for yourself better than you. Maybe you run into that one friend who will check in on you, but motherfucker, you have to take care of yourself. With free time, with what time you have, and you need to do the things you enjoy doing and what makes you happy, or you're going to cook yourself, because nobody's going to save you besides yourself. You need to save yourself. That's why when we talk about identity, that's why we talk about finance. These are things that people... Did I put another slide in here? Oh. That is why we need to ask the questions, because you have to save yourself. Fourth, opinions. Do I care more about how others feel than what I feel? What am I feeling right now? Do I hide who I truly am? Have I changed who I am? So this is... this is the last slide. Okay, so people will care more about how others feel than how they feel about themselves, or what they want for themselves. What am I feeling right now? Most people, if you ask them what are they feeling, like what are you truly feeling, have no fucking clue what to say because they don't fucking think about it. They don't think about what they feel. They don't know themselves. They don't know how to answer these questions. Do I hide who I truly am? Like, do you put on a front? Are you truly yourself? Like, when you go to work, when you come home, when you're by yourself, when you're with your family, when you're with your kids, are you yourself or are you putting on a mask? And that is a one-way ticket to losing your fucking shit. Not gonna lie. Have I changed who I am? Another way to go down Shit's Creek and lose your shit. Because you're going to build up all this fucking resentment and repression, then one day you're just gonna pop. And you may say, no, I'm not gonna pop. I hate to tell you, motherfucker, it's not if, it is when. It is when it catches up with you. It is when the finances catch up with you. It is when your health catches up with you. It is when all these neglected emotions and feelings and how you truly feel about yourself and others comes to the surface. It is when all these things combined come together to give you a swift kick in the ass and you've never asked yourself these fucking questions and you don't have any answers, that is when it's all gonna go to shit. Because it doesn't wait. None of these things wait. Finances don't wait. Your health doesn't wait. And your well-being, your brain especially won't wait. So if you glean anything about the questions we went over, the biggest thing is you have to ask yourself these questions. And you have to seek the answers. And you have to get the help. Nobody is going to help you besides you. You have to get the help. And it is not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. But your future self and your kids and your future partners and your future everything will thank you for getting the help and for putting in the work now instead of later. That is all I have to say today. Catch me later on later videos and posts. Maybe we'll talk more about finances or emotional regulation or whatnot. It doesn't matter. If you have any questions or you want to talk or you need somebody to talk to, you can reach out to me. Have a blessed one.